battery's still good. I'm like, "Yeah, that makes no sense." Well,
Oh, that's what they said, right?
So now the starter
Sure.
is gone.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, we can get her up and running probably back.
The tires are shot, so
Yeah, they're a little dry rotted, right. But at least we can probably pump up some pressure. Let's see.
So I do it maybe like Dad used to do it, once a month or something.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, I think first of all, we're gonna probably have to take this cover off.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Yeah, let's take the cover off first, and let's see what it's. I think the battery is probably gonna have to be replaced. You're saying, right?
No,
okay.
A battery might be okay.
Might be okay.
But I think the starter.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. 1969, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I got it painted.
Sure.
I did some work to it.
What did you do to it?
It just came with the engine. That's it. So
Oh,
I had
that's
to
it.
put
Right?
in
Oh, a bunch of stuff.
aluminum.
Right. Sure.
Radiator.
Fenders off radiator. Right. Nice. Yeah, that looks so nice over there. Leather and everything.
Yeah, new seats, new interior.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. That's not a problem. I mean, she's gonna be back to life, you know.
Yeah.
This tire is actually not bad. Let's see. Here, this is. Yeah, this tire. Not bad. Wow. Let's see. Oh, there's this. This beauty. Oh my gosh. There's the starter solenoid.
Yeah. So it's a V8.
Oh. Okay.
So need some clean.
Yeah. Nice. Let me see something.
The electric might need some work too because it used to short.
Let's see.
So when I got it painted,
Sure.
they didn't put all the electric pipe back together.
Oh yeah, they didn't. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, shouldn't be a big deal. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Let's make sure it has some oil first. And yeah, even if we try to start it or not.
So I mean, I took out the battery.
Okay, it has some oil. Let's see. Okay, so it's full. Alright. So, let's do this. You have the battery, right? Should be. But I'm sure it's gonna be dead, probably. Let's see. You can probably open it and check, right? It's frozen. No? Maybe in the trunk area? Yeah. I'm gonna grab some gloves in the meantime, okay? Wow, look at this guy. So nice. Beautiful car. It hasn't been driven in like 2 years. Nothing there. Dry. It's gonna need some work, but it's got potential, I'm sure. Starter solenoid. Yes, it's closed. So if you had the wrong type of battery, like too small for this engine, then it's gonna do that. It's gonna basically create too much current. And also, another thing what it's gonna do is if you have a cable like corroded somewhere or something, you know, it's more difficult for the current to get through. So that's why it makes the cable that's corroded much warmer. And that's why, or it could be possible that this cable maybe rubbed through this firewall or something, through this body, and then maybe created like a short, you know. So yeah, we'll probably have to get a new cable for it, for the starter basically, because this cable goes to the starter. This I can see. You know, actually, to be honest with you, I don't know. Have you tested the starter before? Maybe the starter is okay, you know?
Yeah, starter might be okay.
You know, because what I'm thinking is let's diagnose it. Let's get the battery. Let's diagnose it. Let's maybe change this cable, or we you know, we might not even have to change all of this cable, because what I'm thinking is to maybe cut it somewhere right here where it's good, and just kind of connect it together. We can see how much they sell that thing for, you know. We can figure that out. And what else I was gonna say? Well, I think maybe the solenoid is probably gonna be shot as well, but you know, we can get all these parts first. If there's anything that we don't need, you can always return it back. So, you know, and because I think maybe the starter is okay. You know, what I'm thinking, what I see is the cable right here is shot, like it's pretty bad. So it could be that too, you know. But you know, without the battery and this, you can't really test much. But at least we got oil. Another thing is we're probably gonna need to top off the coolant. I don't know if it was leaking. You know, when you had it, and maybe you just didn't have enough or didn't add enough, because it's a little low. Yeah, it's a little low. I mean, you just don't see it.
Is it smart to just drain it and then?
Yeah, we can do that. See, you don't see anything in there. You should be like right here. You should be able to see it basically. So, I mean, we can start it without the coolant if it starts, and we can let it run, you know, but just not for a long time, so it doesn't overheat. So that should be all. And as far as spark plugs, I mean, I think they're gonna be fine. I don't know if you ever changed them or not.
Because I mean, since I got the car, drove less than 5,000.
Oh, that's not much. So probably maybe they did it or not. Yeah, but I mean, if you want, we can get it done. You know, but I think they're gonna be maybe fine, maybe not. We'll see. The belts, they still look okay. I think. Let's see. That should be fine. How are your brakes? Do you have a brake pedal? Just got this battery connected. Everything. The oil level is good. Yeah. So the battery fits right in. You see? So yeah, like I was saying, you're gonna need those hold down hooks, you know, that they have. I mean, they had them at Walmart, but if you want, we can come back later and do it because it's gonna be flopping around. But for now, it's okay. All right. You have the key for it and everything for the car. Right. This is plus. This is plus.
They didn't even do the right colors.
Huh? Yeah, this should be black.
Right.
This should be black.
Right.
No, I don't see it sparking or anything, but we'll see. Alright, let me grab something. You don't mind if I film a little, no? Thanks. So this goes like that. This has to be opened up. The key, or maybe you go ahead and I'll just tell you. The battery's in. Just turn the key, just don't crank it, just turn the key in the to the on position, see if it has anything. Nothing? It has power, looks like. Some of this stuff. Also, does it have fuel? It should have fuel, right? If anything.
Yeah, it should. Oh yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, that's good. Just let it. Yeah, you can turn the key on and off a couple times. You know, maybe the fuses are bad. You know, probably. We'll see.
The radio should work.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. It's not doing anything, right?
No.
Okay. Time for diagnostics. Phil, do you have a key? Nothing. Yeah, there's no power coming to the ignition switch. It's either the fuse or something with the wiring. Oh my gosh. I wonder.
Yeah, I mean the radio's not working either.
Right.
So I have a feeling the fuses are underneath.
Hey, they're under there,
Yeah.
You think? Okay, I'll check them over there. I'll grab my test light. Alright, jacked it up. I'm still getting no power to the starter. Disconnected the battery here, and I'm not getting power to the ignition switch, and I disconnected the cable. As you can see, it's pretty busted, and I just noticed something underneath, so I'm gonna go and show you. Looks like it has like the cable on the starter is like really loose, so I'm gonna see if it's gonna do anything. Alright, let's see. So here's the starter right there. I'm gonna try and show you. So here's the cable, and if you look at the terminal is kind of loose, and I can move it. Oh, look at that, it just broke off. Wow. Or no, it didn't break. It just looks like it wasn't, or maybe it did broke. Yeah, it probably broke. But it was loose initially, so no, that's no good. What else I was gonna show you? Well, I'm gonna jump it probably right now with my test light and see if it's gonna crank the engine or not. We're gonna see, but this cable is no good anyways. It has to be replaced. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it out right now. See how busted that is. So yeah, that kind of sucks. This thing on the starter is, well, maybe I can still connect something over there on that cable. We'll see, I don't know. Not sure, but maybe it's gonna hold. Let's see. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah, looks like, I don't know, the threads are stripped or something on this. That's what it looks like to me. So that kind of sucks. Oh well, we're gonna see right now. Alright, that's the problem with this. Here, it's just, I tested it already, it's not working. I give it power here and ground it, but it's nothing coming from here. Alright guys, so the owner went to grab a new starter and the cable, because the cable was too short from the starter to the solenoid. And another thing is I'm gonna replace the solenoid. We have a new part, and then I'm gonna try to figure out why this thing is not getting anything in the ignition switch. The ignition switch might be bad or something, so I'll have to check that out. Unfortunately, I don't have the wiring diagram right now, which sucks, but what else? Yeah, I'm gonna swap this thing out right now. The battery is brand new, so there's no issues with the battery. I noticed there's a small coolant leak from the water pump. I think it's from the hose though, so that will have to be addressed. First of all, don't forget to disconnect the battery, and then this thing is gonna come off. It's the main feed, 12 volts from the battery. This cable is okay. All this stuff. Alright. These couple things need to be disconnected. Alright, good. Now, this is all tightened up. Now I'm just waiting for the starter and the cable that goes to the starter. And in the meantime, right now, I'm gonna try and figure out why I have no power at the key. Because I do not have the power over there. So you can see the lights are coming on and everything. This is working, but I turn the key, it's just nothing. So it's either the switch or there's no power coming to the switch or something. And what sucks today is I don't have the diagrams or anything today with me, and I checked those fuses right there. They seem to be fine. I don't know what this cable is for and why it's hanging, but it looks like it's coming from somewhere there. So that's a good question. And here's the switch. I'm gonna have to try to take it out or something. I'm gonna try to unplug it, maybe. Problem is that I don't know what wire goes to that solenoid. I don't know. I'm gonna unplug it anyways. Alright, I just disassembled this guy. So, I've never worked on a car like this before, so this is my first time. So, we'll see. I'm gonna take it out. Hopefully it's gonna come out. And then it's gonna be much easier. Wow, it's just so stubborn, huh? There. Alright, here's the starter. I think it's Reman. Yeah, I need to install this in there now, and I'm gonna have to come back later because the cable we're trying to find, they don't have it in stock right now, and well, it's just a bunch of stuff, you know, so we're gonna have to do everything later, maybe tonight. It's probably gonna be dark, and yeah, anyways, we're gonna install this guy. Alright guys, so here's the beauty. Took me a little bit to diagnose the problem. I'll let you know in a second what's the problem that we're having. But what I was gonna say, I was looking for, you know, for a good wiring diagram for this car, like a starting system diagram, and it took me a while to find one. I had to go through so many diagrams to find the right one. So anyways, as you can see over here, I have everything like this assembled. This is the ignition cylinder and the switch right there, and also what I was doing is testing to make sure, because when I have the key on, there was no lights, nothing came on. So basically I was just testing it, and the radio didn't work, so it's working right now. There was a broken wire I had to fix, and then there's the fuse box. This is the only fuse box this car has, and that's it. That's I checked all the fuses, everything was fine. And then when I had, the reason why I have this ignition switch out is because I was testing to make sure I have power coming out, because I have a power coming in on that wire in the middle, this thick wire right there. So the power comes into the switch, and then when you turn the key to the on position, or rather to the crank position, because we're worried about the starting system, so you put this thing to crank, and then you should have 12 volts coming out of this red wire with the blue stripe, and I did have that. However, let me actually turn this radio off. Come on. Which way? There you go. It doesn't drain the battery. However, I had no power at this solenoid. So this wire, red with a blue stripe also, it's kind of dirty, but this wire on the S terminal is coming from the ignition switch. And I had no power when I turned it to crank position. So there was somewhere a break in a wire, or something is not right from the ignition switch all the way to the solenoid. So what I did is I found the diagram for it, and I located, actually, you know, since this is automatic, it has the neutral safety switch. And the neutral safety switch is on the transmission, so I didn't want to crawl underneath, but luckily there's a plug right here, and I disconnected it. Okay, I'll show you the rest of it later, but this is the plug that's coming you know, from the inside of the car through the firewall, and there's two of those wires we have to worry about, and two of those wires are actually, they're the same color. They're red with blue stripes. And what I did is I actually had my power probe on it first, just to see if I have you know, if I have, well, right now it's not showing anything, but basically if I put this thing to crank, it's gonna show 12 volts right here. But what was the problem is nothing was coming out of it, so I had the connector connected, and I was testing, I was back probing this wire right here on this side, which is also red with a blue stripe, but nothing was coming out. So that told me that the neutral safety switch was bad. It wasn't working properly. So what I did is I jumped these two wires together right now. So basically I'm bypassing the neutral safety switch. So this right here, this comes from the ignition switch, and then it loops around here and goes out through that same you know, red and wire with a blue stripe, and when it comes out, it actually goes through here, through this wiring. I was doing some testing here, so I'm gonna have to touch that up and everything, but it goes here around and it goes all the way to the solenoid. So let me demonstrate that to you. I have this test light connected here. It's connected to the ground, and you're gonna see when I turn the key to the crank position with this neutral safety switch bypassed, that thing is gonna light up. So you're gonna see right now. So I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna turn it to crank position. If I can do it with both hands somehow. You know what? I'm gonna reinstall this cylinder back first into its position, and then I'm gonna do it that way. Alright, and yes, you guys are gonna ask, the transmission is in park, and I tried to start it in neutral, it still doesn't work. I'm not getting power like this without actually jumping those two wires. So anyways, I have the switch reconnected, and then you just watch that. Let me zoom in. I'm gonna put it in the crank position. See that? That's it. So yeah, I think, well, tonight we still have to, probably tonight, or we'll see how much time we have. They did not have the main battery cable from the solenoid to the starter, so we're gonna probably need to go and get that. We'll see, but for now I know where the problem is. It needs a neutral safety switch. Actually, it's located on the side of the transmission, which kind of sucks, but that's how it is on most automatic transmissions. And yeah, here's the end. Let me zoom in. Here's the end of that plug right here. Oops. Let me show you. Right here, and it's just like a harness that goes all the way down the transmission tunnel, and it actually there's a neutral safety switch that's connected to the side of the transmission. So that guy is no good, and yeah, well, I'm gonna have to probably connect a bypass right now for just right now. Yeah, this car needs so much work. You know, it was sitting for quite a while, but yeah, looks pretty good actually. So, alright guys, don't mind my face. I was working under the vehicle, installing the starter and everything. Currently just waiting for the owner to get here with the battery hold downs, because you know, I want to make sure the battery is reconnected fine, and also with the battery, the cable that goes to the starter from the starter solenoid, that's needed. So, and then after we install it, we're gonna try to crank it. Actually has a coolant leak. I didn't put the coolant in yet, but I can see that the coolant leaks from the, I don't think it's the water pump, it's just the connection with the lower radiator hose and the water pump. That's where the coolant is kind of leaking from. So maybe it's just because it's not tight enough, the clamp needs to be tightened more, or maybe there's like a corrosion, a lot of corrosion or something. So the radiator on this car is actually brand new. It was installed like a couple of years ago, I believe. So, and then currently it's gonna be bypassed. The neutral safety switch is gonna be bypassed, until the owner is gonna gets a neutral safety switch. He's probably gonna buy it online, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's the plan. And it's a nice weather today. Alright, so another thing is we might run into a problem is, of course we're gonna get it cranking, but we're not sure if it's gonna start. I don't know how old the fuel is. I mean, the spark plugs should still be okay, hopefully, and the distributor and everything. Check the oil level. The oil is good. And then what else? That's the oil cap. I can't see anything in there. Man, as soon as this thing gets polished and cleaned up, it's gonna be nice. What else? Let me check the power steering. Ooh, she's a little dry. Nothing in there. Probably need to be topped off. Oh, there's something on the end, but that's about it. As far as oil leaks, it's not bad. Just the transmission has oil leaks. That's about it. I didn't look at the rear end. Let's go and look at the rear end. Let's see how that one is doing. Let's look at this. Oh, it's not bad. Look at this big guy. Wow. It has the leaf springs too. That's pretty cool. Drum brakes in the back. Wait, what about the fronts? Oh, the fronts have disc brakes. Well, that's pretty cool. Hopefully the brakes are not dragging much. If we started, maybe we could just kind of drive it a little bit, but we'll see. Probably not. Wow, this thing has grease fittings too. That's what would be a good thing to do, is to grease the suspension up. Yeah, let's see this thing. Still, well, it is off the ground, but it does not want to turn, so it's probably locked up. Oh boy. Yeah, it's something, yeah, right. You are not getting any fuel. It's dry over here, so I don't know. I think it should prime a fuel pump with the key on, I believe, right? I don't know what kind of system it has. I didn't look into the fuel pump diagram or anything. But a good thing is that it's cranking right now, you know. There's those two wires that I hot wired. I bypassed the neutral safety switch, and it should have. Where's the fuel line? Where's the fuel line? I see. Where is it going over there? It's gotta have like maybe a primer or something, like a pump. But you remember that it used to have some fuel, right? You remember that it used to have some fuel, right? Let's see. What we can also do is we can temporarily spray some starting fluid in there, and I should be able to start it, because it should have a fuel pump in there, I believe, right? I'm not sure how this car works. Shit. Well, this time I'm probably gonna need the fuel pump wiring diagram. Let's see if I can hear it prime. Oops. Well, I don't hear the pump at all or anything. Which I don't know if I should be able. I should be able to hear it, I guess. But there's like nothing. Huh. Yeah. Let me see. Alright, try it. Alright, try it. Try to give it some fuel, you know, the gas pedal there. Well, it might be not enough, you know.